Hello, Eternal Life fans. It's Rowan from the Eternal Life Fan Club. And when I was doing one of my recent live streams, somebody commented something very cool. So I wanted to share this with everyone, kind of highlight what this person said. So in the stream chat, Blair Voltaire said, "I'm an atheist, but I'm a cultural Christian. We need Christianity to progress Western values, destroy degeneracy, and bring order to the world." So when he posted that, I was like, yes, that's awesome. Like this, we need more atheists with this kind of attitude. Now, obviously, as a believer myself, someone who believes in God, if I could convince this person to believe in God, that's even better. But ultimately, that's not this person's choice. People don't decide what they believe, whether they're an atheist or they're a religious person, a Christian or whatever. People don't choose their beliefs, okay? Beliefs are involuntary. But certainly the next best thing, like for an atheist, like is having this person's attitude where it's like they understand the practical utility of religion for a society, for the benefit of a society. That religion serves a very useful function, as this person said, to promote against degeneracy. Because we know human beings, the psychology of people is we respond to incentives. And we know that, religion, the framework of religion, the framework of belief in God, where there's this God that might judge you severely if you mess up, if you do bad things, or the God who might reward you if you do good things. This kind of religious framework provides a lot more incentive for actually doing good and being a good person. So under a religious society and people who believe in God, there's going to be more morality, people behaving better. And to think you could just remove religion from a society, okay? And to think there won't be severe consequences for that is very short-sighted. And I think a lot of atheists haven't thought this out. They're so quick to be these anti-theistic type of atheists. These anti-theists is what you call them, who are attacking religion. They want to remove religion from a society, and they think that's somehow going to improve the world. It's not. Religion does a lot of very important things. For one, we know that kind of the bedrock of a society is the family unit, okay? And we know that Christianity strongly discourages divorce. So in a world without Christianity, there's going to be way more divorce, and that's going to ruin children's lives, and that's thereby going to ruin adults. And the society is made of people who grew up in families. And so to preserve the family unit, it helps to have religion. Christianity specifically, I think, is the best. But and regardless of whether it's true. See, that's the whole thing. I feel like a lot of atheists are really fixated on whether or not, religion is true, whether or not there's a God and everything. And I get that's an important question. We can all think about this. We should think about whether there's a God. It's an important question. But it's also an important question as far as is society benefited by religion, by people believing in God, regardless of whether or not it's true? Okay, that's another important question. I don't think most atheists have properly thought this out. Okay, because I think absolutely society is the benefited from religion and people believing in God. It's I really appreciate this person's comment, and I wish more atheists had this kind of attitude, that they weren't so aggressively attacking religion, but they can kind of uplift religion and even promote religion as being a good in the world. To save Western society. And I've been trying to put forth this kind of idea on my channel as of late, that it's about the practical utility of religion. And also, I would say, this person, could take it a step further for themselves, and not just be a cultural Christian, but for themselves, they could try to fear the possibility of a God, and they could, live like there's a God, just in case there's a God, right? Just in case there's a God, atheists can be God-fearing. Okay, and so this would be an important thing for this person as an individual. I would tell them, look, if you can't believe in a God, then the next best thing, aside from being a cultural Christian, is to try to have that attitude that, you might be judged, that this life might be a test, right? Have that agnostic humility to admit we don't know if there is or isn't a God, right? So you can at least prepare for the possibility of a God as a precaution, because it's the safer way to live, right? Because if it turns out there is a God, right, you want to be prepared for that kind of thing. So you want to be thinking about, well, what are the possible rules of God, and you want to be trying to live up to that kind of standard, of that there could be a high moral standard. And it's this very same possibility of this high moral standard, that this God might be judging us all. This is the very same thing that's going to help a society maintain their morality, maintain their virtues, and ultimately save Western society. Now, I've also thought about that if there wasn't any religion in like Western society, for instance, like Christianity, the dominant religious force in Western society, then that leaves an open door for other religions to come in and fill the void, because the religion fills a void that a lot of people, it's a human thing, right? Humans are obviously drawn to religion. That's why religion is so popular. So if you remove Christianity from Western society, you think nothing else is going to come and fill this void? Oh, trust me, something else will come. It could be another religion that's way worse than Christianity. Now, I think Christianity is good, but let's say you remove Christianity, another religion, let's say like one of these, a religion you might find in the Middle East, right? Something like that. That could come in and fill the void, and then you have a religion that I'm sure many atheists would agree is much worse than Christianity. So not all religions are created equal. So why would you want to remove the bedrock of Western civilization, which is Christianity, and then leave Western society vulnerable to a different type of religious influence to come sweeping in? And, do we want America to be more like, let's say, the Middle East? That would be pretty awful. I think we can all agree. So, I just want to say that I think, obviously, that religion, specifically Christianity in the West, is doing far more good than bad. But I also want to say that if as an atheist out there, if you're not going to promote Christianity, then at the very least, I think we should all get behind the idea of promoting the fear, like a God-fearing attitude, a general attitude that is not maybe specific to a specific religion, but just the fear of God. If we can just promote a God-fearing attitude amongst society, clearly that will make people more moral. It should, logically, because if you think, well, there's this God, there's this potential hell, you might burn forever in hell. These are kind of very fearful ideas that could get people afraid. We want people to be restrained by fear. We don't want people to feel like they could just get away with anything. It's good to push this idea of, a hypothetical hell that people should really consider, and wow, there could be this hell, there could be this wrathful, judgmental God that could really destroy you if you break the rules. So better tread carefully in this life, better live as though life is a test, better strive for that high level of virtue and morality. Clearly, this is going to be the best attitude to create a wonderful society of people who are moral, and that's really the goal here. That's what Western society is built on: morality, virtues, and everything. And a lot of this, you should not deny that this has to do with Western society being built from Christian morality and everything. Okay? And if you're one of these atheists who think that humanism, the secular humanism, if you think that can replace Christianity as a way to make people behave morally, as a moral framework for society, then I would strongly encourage you to watch my video called Humanism versus Fear of God. In that video, I explain how humanism is not a good enough substitution for Christianity. It cannot replace Christianity. It will not make people behave as morally as Christianity would when you're talking about, in general, with the most amount of people. Christianity is definitely going to make people behave better than something like secular humanism. Anyways, I will put the link to that video in the description if you want to check that out. Thank you, and may you live forever.